Welcome everyone and our at-home students. We're so glad you could join us today. I'm Patty Prelock and I am the provost at the University of Vermont. And today's evening activity is really focused on connection and how we make connections. So I want to acknowledge for our at-home students that it's not what anyone was hoping for. We all want you to be here with us. We're doing everything we can to help end the pandemic. We have students who are doing an amazing job, and faculty and staff and our healthcare professionals. And I want to thank our at-home students for doing their part. You have really made an effort for us so that we could de-densify the campus, so we thank you. If you haven't already taken the Green and Gold Promise, just a reminder, please do that as soon as possible, because those students who haven't done it will have a hold on their account, and we don't want to make sure that you can register for classes in the spring. So during this pandemic, when we're all feeling disconnected, and I know for me, I love seeing faces, but just the physical connection is something that I really miss. So I know it's disappointing. It's not just you, but we're all feeling this. And when you want to be on campus, it's really hard not to be. And studying remotely is hard, and pandemics are hard. None of us really anticipated this, did we? So tonight, what we thought we would do is share the ways that our at-home students can stay connected, and we actually have some at-home students online with us. And we're going to give you some useful tools to stay connected with us and highlight some places you can get information. And then we're going to have a question and answer time period. And special note, we're going to ask you to download 2 apps tonight. One is what we call Navigate, and the other is Near Peer. They're very cool applications, and we're going to randomly select students who participate, as you will get a virtual prize. And what that will be is lunch with myself and President Garamella, and we will figure out a way that we can actually have lunch sent to you in some way so that we can eat together. So I'm very excited about our panel. We have amazing students to talk with you. But before we do that, I'm a bit of an amateur magician, so I thought I would just do a magic trick for you before I turn it over to Lana and Peter, our SGA president and vice president. So I have a change bag here, and I swear there's nothing in it. You can see nothing is in it, but let me unzip it because you can't really trust a magician. So when we think about connection and our catamounts, we think about, first of all, it's C. We want you to stay connected to our campus. A, we want you to have access to a quality education. T, we want to be timely in our response to your needs. A, we always see you as a member of our community, no matter if you're at home or working remotely or here on campus. We want you to stay motivated to learn. We also know that you've done an outstanding job supporting our campus by helping to de-densify, and we are so appreciative. You are in a unique situation that requires everyone's cooperation, and you've been extraordinary. And never forget that you're part of our community. T, tenacity is what you do need to manage all of these changes and challenges that the pandemic brings. And S, we will support you throughout the remaining semester. So I have a magic wand. And if we say what, abracadabra, right? Abracadabra, what you get is we are catamounts. So a little magic for my magic students, and now I'm going to turn it over to Lana Nami, and she's the president of student government. We're so happy to have her here, and Vice President Peter Lally, and then Club Affairs Committee Chair Ann Wong. So thank you for being here, and go ahead, Lana.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, my name is Lana Alnami. I use she and her pronouns, and I am indeed the SGA president. I'm really excited to get an opportunity to be here tonight, and I just want you to take away 3 things from what I'm going to be saying later today. But first of all, I just want to say that I commend you all for doing what you're doing and staying part of our UVM community just by being here tonight. So that's amazing. I'm glad we all get an opportunity to share a little bit of what's been happening here on campus. There has been a lot of change, a lot of hard work from our students, from our faculty, from our staff, from administration. And I've never seen UVM connect together so well, even though we're all so far away. So honestly, the biggest thing, just looking back at the couple of months that we've been here so far, I've seen a lot of folks work really hard to connect and to be there for each other and to support each other, because we're all kind of in new situations and new positions that we've never been in before. And so I'm just really proud of our UVM students, first of all, for being so adaptive and being able to just roll with the flow and making our state proud and making each other proud. So I just want to say that I'm really proud of everyone and super excited that UVM is the one to be doing that. So a couple things I want you to take away from today is that you have got this. I believe in all of you. This is a really hard and difficult time for all of us, but I believe that students are so strong, and whatever resource that you need, you'll be able to find within UVM. And so reach out, use your resources. There's a lot, and follow the UVM Instagram, UVM SGA, and UVM Instagram account as well. There's a lot of resources that we are all posting there for a variety of different reasons. Connect is one of the second things that I want you to remember and take away from tonight. So within the work that SGA is doing right now, we're trying to create some virtual events along with in-person events as well, moving into the Thanksgiving break too. And so what we're planning is a couple of movie series on Friday nights where students can come, bring their sleeping bags, bring their own snacks, bring their friends, and come watch a movie just to hang out and decompress and relax and just have a space to do so safely. And virtual students will be able to access that online. So stay connected, you have got this, and make the best of it. We're all in a time that we're all going to remember for a very long time moving forward. And whatever you do, just push yourself, you have got this, and trust in the process. I think I'm just really excited to see what the rest of the semester looks like for our students and all the work that our SGA has been doing. It's been a wonderful time so far, and they're working so hard to make sure that every student on campus is heard as much as possible. And now I'm going to pass it on to Vice President Lally.
Hello, everyone. My name is Peter Lally. I use he, him pronouns, and I am the SGA Vice President this year. I'm a junior studying public communication. So I'm going to start off. First of all, thank you for being here and joining us tonight. So a little bit about what SGA can offer at-home students is like Lana mentioned, we're trying to organize some virtual events with different organizations on campus. And especially over winter break, when everyone will be at home, we want to keep UVM connected as much as possible. So we're here to serve all students as SGA, so please always feel free to contact us, our contact through social media or information on our website. So that's always an opportunity to, come and speak on public forum if there's an issue that you want us to know about or anything like that. So another thing that I'm going to talk about today to you all is UVM Board. So the UVM Board is a website, and they also are on Instagram, Facebook, all social media. And it's pretty much in a student-run calendar, if you didn't already know what it is, that has all these different events listed. And I think you can see my screen right here. So I'm going to scroll through. These are all events that happened today, and there's a lot, which just goes to show like how much opportunity there really is, whether it be these virtual events like choosing your study abroad destination once we're able to do that again, exploring multiracial and multi-ethnic identities, another virtual event that happened at 3 today, And all these, I know you can see the screen, and has a mix. And another good feature about this website is that you can filter and see, and if I was wanted a virtual event, you just click virtual event, and then it filters it through and gets rid of any in-person events that might be happening. Whether you want something free, we all like free stuff. These are all free events. I think most of them are free anyways. And so yeah, and also I know Anne is going to talk a little bit more about clubs after me, but if you want to be involved in a club, which I highly recommend, it's never too late, you can also click on the UVM clubs and orgs filter, and that can connect you with a group. Very, low risk, high reward in terms of trying out a club that you're not sure about. I've gotten involved and it's been in some clubs, and it's been, very good to find people with similar interests and find that community here at UVM. So, and then also one last thing, so you can always submit a event request too, and then it gets sent through, and that event could end up on the calendar for UVM board. It, probably will, as long as it's all a good event. And so you can advertise your own events on here too. And then also this blog page has some good tips and tricks and different little articles for how to be involved and some information. So that's a little bit of what I have today. So I will pass it off to Anne, but yeah, pretty much just see like this Teams link right here. You would just do that and put it into Teams and you'd be all set. So thank you, and I will pass it off to our Club Affairs Chair, Anne Wong.
Hi everyone, my name is Anne. I use she, her pronouns, and as Peter said, I am the chair of the Club Affairs Committee. So we have been really lucky this past year to be able to still have clubs and organizations in full swing, or mostly full swing here at the university. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about what the organizations are doing on campus and how you can still be involved while you're at home. So there are two really great places that have resources for different organizations on campus, and we have over 200. So first is the UVM Club's website, which is our online student organization platform, and you can find all necessary club information on UVM Clubs. It goes through the list of all 200 plus clubs. It gives the contact information and any other pertinent information like when meetings are, which ones are virtual, etc., kind of on the UVM clubs page. So that is a really great place to start if you want to get involved, but you don't really know what a club signer's email might be. Like you want to maybe think about joining the undergraduate research club, but you don't know who the president is. That is a really great place to start and get in contact with them. You can also join their roster. It will send the club signers a notification, and then you can get in contact with them through that way. We also just recently this year created an Instagram account called UVM Clubs that I would also highly recommend that you all check out. This is more nuanced information about the kind of the day-to-day activities that might be happening. It's not as comprehensive as the UVM board calendar, but it does give really great resources for clubs that are having events on campus, new clubs that are being recognized on campus, different club takeovers that we have on the Instagram account. So that's also a really great place to find what events are happening virtually and what clubs you can get involved with this semester. The best way to get in contact or to kind of explore these opportunities, I would say, are either through emailing the club signers, and all the emails are usually in the captions of the Instagram posts, or on the physical UVM clubs organizations page, or also through social media, direct messaging. A lot of the clubs do have their own Instagram accounts, and if you go through the UVM Club's Instagram page, you'll be able to find a lot of the handles for the clubs that we have on campus, and then you can direct message them through that way. It's never too late to join an organization. Some groups do have auditions or tryouts, so you might need to message them when would that next kind of section be, but most clubs you can join at any point that you want. You can just pop into a meeting and and then you're completely set from there. We are also working as a Club Affairs Committee, and I'm working with Jerome on having the virtual Winter Activities Fest. So if you want kind of an opportunity to be able to explore the organizations, we will also have that available, which is similar to the one that we had in the spring. And so that's also a really great opportunity for you all to kind of get acquainted with some of the clubs on campus. And speaking as far as the events and meetings that clubs have, many of the organizations have been having virtual and hybrid meetings, as Peter showed in the UVM board calendar. There's a lot of really great virtual events that clubs are hosting that you can actually filter out that way. So you can check out the UVM board calendar, as Peter mentioned, to look for those events. Kind of off the top of my head, from what I've heard is going on, the UVM Salsa Society has online beginner salsa lessons. The Gaming Guild has been doing gaming get-togethers where they play their games that they play and do that virtually, which is really great. And I know like the Ballroom and West Coast Swing Society are having virtual swing lessons. So it's really a great way to still be involved on campus and still be able to feel like you have that community of a club or organization while still being at home. So that's just kind of my little bit that I had to say about organizations, how you can still be involved, how you can get started with being involved. Don't ever hesitate to reach out to the Club Affairs Committee if you ever have any questions about organizations on campus. And also virtual students can still start their own clubs. So if you want to start a club, you are more than welcome to reach out to the Club Affairs Committee. We can get that process started for you. So I'm just going to hand it back to Lana for the next section of this.
Oh, yep, we're actually going to be handing it off to Maddie.
Thank you, Lana. Hi, all. My name is Maddie Henson. I am a sophomore studying at home in North Carolina, and today I'm going to talk to you about the Navigate app and why it's important for your academic journey here at UVM. So when you download the app, which my friend Cal will be showing you how to do in a few short minutes, you'll be greeted with a bunch of different icons, and basically these icons will allow you to view your course schedule, view the holds on your account. You can schedule appointments with your academic advisors or with peer tutors, other helpful resources about your major, and kind of, research opportunities and stuff like that. And you can learn about events, speakers, what you have to do for the day, and many other options. The most important thing, and especially with us being at home during a pandemic, is the Study Buddy resource. So what the Study Buddies does is it allows you to meet with other people in your class so you all can study. So on your home screen of the Navigate app, there is an icon that says Study Buddies. You press that, you scroll to the semester that you're in right now, so fall 2020, and you choose the class you want to study in or find somebody to help you study, and you click to join. Or if you're the first person to start a study group, then you can click create, and you will get notified when other people join. So when you join a group that's already been created, you'll be shown their email addresses, and they'll be shown yours so they can reach out to you and set up appointments with you or anything of that nature. And yeah, so there are just, the Navigate app is really just there to help be a really good resource for you if you have any basic questions or if you want to sharpen up on your organic chemistry skills. I mean, it's just a multitude of things, and it is a very helpful tool, and I know I've used it a lot of times. So now I will be passing it over to my friend Cal, and he's going to help you download this. Cal?
Great, thank you, Maddie. My name's Cal, and I'm an at-home student in Heartland, Vermont. And yeah, I'm going to walk you through downloading Navigate. So if you want to pull out your phones and go to the App Store, whatever store you use to get apps on your phone, whether you're on iPhone or Android, and what you want to search for on there is Navigate Student. And it should be the first thing that comes up. So if you're able to see my phone up here, the icon up there looks like that. And you can go ahead and download the app, or if you've already downloaded it, then you can hop on into the app with me. I'm just going to talk about a few setup things. If you need any more incentive, if you're on the fence about downloading Navigate, as the provost said in her introduction, we're going to randomly pick 5 students who download the app tonight for a virtual lunch with the president and the provost. So once you've got the app started downloading, or maybe it's already downloaded if you've got a good connection, you want to look up University of Vermont, and then you can log in with your net ID and password. And once you're in the app, I'll pull up what that looks like. So once you're in the app, you'll have a number of little icons on your home screen. And with these icons, you can look at your to-do list. That's I'll show you that, and then we'll be done holding my phone up. So the to-do list lets you look at what you have on your plate right now and lets you see what's upcoming. So it makes sure that I'm on top of my FAFSA and encourages me to look at the Study Buddy program. So the Study Buddies program is another one of these little circular icons right on your home screen. And when you go to it, it'll have all your classes, and it'll show you how many people in each class are already interested in looking for a study buddy. So that's a great resource. I forgot to mention, while you're setting this up, it'll ask you some questions about your class and your interests. And the great thing about that is that the university will be able to use that to make sure that they're reaching out to you with good messaging, so that you are aware of the opportunities involved with that, which is especially great for those of us who are at home this semester. And so I think that's about it for Navigate. Just a reminder, once you've downloaded it, if you can put your name and hometown in the chat, this will just be a private chat to the leaders in the meeting. Not everyone will see it, and that will allow us to enter you in the drawing for the lunch with the provost and the president. Next, we're going to turn things over to our classmates who are going to tell you about the NearPeer app.
All right, thank you so much, Cal and Maddie, for your presentations on Navigate. It's definitely an app that I think you should all get. It's been very helpful, at least in my experience. So my name is Stephanie Kramer. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a psychological sciences major, and I'm a junior. So talking about NearPeer. Personally, I've actually only been testing it out for a few days, but in the few days that I have used it, I've honestly found it quite helpful, because for those of you who are like me and are not on campus, connections can be hard, because virtually, I don't think a lot of us are used to having to make solely virtual long distance connections a lot of the time. It's difficult. I know what you guys are going through. But NearPeer is definitely a way that we can kind of work around that. So UVM is advertising NearPeer for us, and the thing that is unique about this is, first off, when you download NearPeer, you're going to be putting in your institution and your UVM email. So all the people that you meet on NearPeer will be solely Catamounts, people from UVM. And so you can start making those connections on campus or off campus, depending on where you are. And also, the thing about this is it's unique in that we're not asking you to download this and say, this is a new social media app that's going to replace Facebook or Instagram. This is, we're hoping, a springboard for you to start making connections and then go from there and start building your friend groups. Because how this works is they give you a drop-down list when you're setting up your profile. They give you a drop-down list of a bunch of different interests that you might have, and it's all alphabetized, so there's a huge long list from A to Z. So when I started looking, the one that caught my eye first was Avatar: The Last Airbender television show, which I'm sure most of you know about. And so I started putting down all my interests, whether it be Avatar or cooking or ballroom dancing and all these things. And so I actually found that making connections was quite easy when you start thinking about these interests. These interests are how you make these connections. The app winds up matching with people who share your common interests, and then from there, you can start talking to people. My very first connection was with someone who shared that avatar the live server in their interest. We started talking, and eventually they asked for my Snapchat. Once again, a springboard. We're not asking this to be a long-term app, but it's definitely going to be great for meeting other UVMers. And so now I'm going to be passing this to Tiffany. She's going to be helping you with downloading the app, and we're just going to be talking about what she sees on the app, and I hope you guys download it for sure, because that incentive is there once again to have that lunch with the provost and the president. Don't forget about that. Put that in the chat, and I will pass it to Tiffany.
Hi, I'm Tiffany. I'm a first year nursing major, and honestly, as a first year, it's kind of hard making friends on campus. Like, if I don't see anyone in my classes, how am I going to make friends? So I haven't really downloaded Nearpeer yet, so I'll do that now. So I'm on Android, so I just click install, and then after a little bit, it'll like you create an account with your UVM email, and it'll direct you to like filling out your application, filling out your interests, and that's kind of it. Like for me, I know that I'm part of a Rhode Island gang, so I'm hoping to find other like Rhode Islanders on this. But other than that, I just hope I find more friends. And I think my other friend Jonah is going to present like his interest and what he has chosen.
Hello. So for me, I think that this is a really cool app because it really pins down those interests. It does a really good job at like really focusing down the interest. Like I think it's really cool because it's not just stuff like, oh, I like music. It's actually, you can like specifically pick in the drop down like, oh, I really like Taylor Swift. It's such a cool app. It can get so specific. Like I can say, for example, like, oh, I like eating ramen is one of the options, or I can say that I like not just pizza, but I can say I like Domino's pizza. It's just so specific with what you can put down. I also think another really cool feature with this is that you can, when you pick your major, I'm an environmental science major. And so one thing that's really cool about it is it actually has in the drop-down menu which college you can take, which college I'm taking it in, because you can take environmental science in like 3 or 4 different colleges. And so that's another way to link you with more of your peers. And so I can find people specifically in Rubenstein taking environmental science as well. It's just, they do such a great job at giving you just a huge breadth of interests and really pinning down, really pinning down those interests and matching you with like other people that have those same interests. It's a really, really cool app. And I think that is back to Stephanie then.
All right, thank you so much, Jonah and Tiffany. Once again, Nearpeer is a really great app that will definitely help you with building those social connections long distance. And hopefully you guys can start making some good friends online and go from there. It's a fairly easy download. And once again, remember that once you've downloaded it, put your name and your hometown in the chat so that we can enter you in the drawing for that lunch with the provost and the president. And now we'll turn things back to the provost for our Q&A session.
Thank you, everyone. Before we start our Q&A, I just want to thank all our student presenters. You were awesome, Lana and Peter and Anne, Cal, Maddie, Stephanie, Jonah, Tiffany. You've been really wonderful helping students connect, and you figured it out. For those of you, we actually have 3 at-home students here online with us, so outstanding job. So now our opportunity is to tell you we have a few other people who are joining us tonight. Jerome Bedoma is our Associate Director of Student Life, and Jay Dickinson is our Vice Provost of Academic Affairs and Student Success. Sarah Warrington is our Coordinator of Strategic Retention, and Alex Yin is our Executive Director of the Office of Institutional Research. They've been working closely with our students and have a lot of experience in the Navigate, the near peer student organizations. Jerome really supports the student efforts and student clubs. And then Jay Dickinson is our Vice Provost, who really understands how to make this easy for students. So we're going to try and answer all of your questions tonight. We're going to focus on those that are related to connection. And I see we already have a question. The first one is, will there be another session to discuss next semester specifically for at-home students who wish to return, and the questions and concerns the at-home students specifically have? So you can absolutely ask your questions now. So Jay, I don't know if you want to just give students a framework of if they are at home now and they want to come back for the spring semester, what are the things they should remember? So go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, so I think the great thing is that you don't have to fill out any form to come back. If you don't fill out a form, then our assumption is that you're returning to campus. Obviously, one of your first steps is going to be to meet with your academic advisor, make sure that you're choosing the best class schedule for yourself. Also, the housing form is already open, so you can go to the Residential Life website and fill out that housing form, and you will be ready to go. You'll be an on-campus student, and we will be ready to welcome you back to campus in the spring.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Jay. So we have some nice questions coming in. Are there any opportunities for leadership to get with small groups of at-home students to talk about the at-home experience, their concerns for this semester, their concerns for next semester, and so on? We were hoping this conversation was going to answer questions about figuring out next semester, since the schedule of classes comes out in 7 days, and the option to return or stay at home opens up, will be there. So now's the time to ask the question. You have leaders here, myself, Jay, Sarah, Jerome, Alex, we're here if you have questions, as Jay just answered. If you want to come back, you can come back. We only ask students who want to stay at home another semester that they fill out the information. So you should be connecting with your advisors. Is there a way to meet people who will be moving back onto campus next year for rooming? Great question. Jerome, I don't know if you have any perspective on that or what the students might do. We can certainly connect you with Residential Life, but I think you have to make a request for your rooming like you would do otherwise. Jerome, is there anything you wanted to add?
Absolutely. And for those students that are deciding to come back, we cannot wait to see you on campus. This is where there will be many opportunities for you to get involved and find connection when you return. One of the things, we have a lot of lessons learned from the fall semester. So one of the things that we have been working on, actually even these past 2 weeks, is what is spring involvement going to look like? So what we have already worked out with a lot of various areas is student organizations will be in full effect again, of course, in a modified way. However, this is where they'll be able to start doing activities as soon as February 5th. So within that first week, as you all get settled, student organizations are going to start preparing now so that they could be ready to kick off the moment that you arrive on campus. In addition, we're going to also have something called Winter Week of Welcome. So that tradition will continue, and there'll be various events that are going to happen both in person as well as virtually. Another thing that we will be working on, as Anne mentioned, is something called our Winter Week of Welcome, our Winter Activities Fest. I apologize for that. our Winter's Activities Fest is our online student organization fair that will happen via UVM clubs, in addition to in person. So whatever you all choose to do, as whether it's in person or virtual, you will have opportunities to still find involvement. So I think the biggest thing that we always tell tell our students, that sometimes the hardest step is really just taking that first step and really trying to integrate yourself. It's already hard as a person that is coming in person, but it's that extra effort sometimes is needed when how do you connect trying to do it virtually. So we try to make sure that we in Student Life, as well as Student Government Association and the rest of the universities, find opportunities so that you can feel welcome the moment you step onto campus.
Thank you so much, Jerome. Appreciate that and love your energy. Is there one of the things I'm going to just relate to the panel, and maybe Jay, you want to start out with this. It sounds like there might be some students online who are just trying to figure out, do I come back to campus? Don't I come back to campus? Is it going to feel like I'm walking in the middle of a conversation or not? How do I feel connected with my advisor? How do I connect with other people? Will I feel comfortable in this new environment? What are we doing to assure that? So Jay, any thoughts you might want to share with students?
I think from that academic connection perspective, absolutely. I know from talking to faculty that they've seen a real uptick in students reaching out to them and wanting to have advising appointments, meeting with my own advisees. I know that we're having deeper and richer conversations. So please take advantage of that opportunity to reach out to your assigned advisor. You can see who that person is by looking on the Navigate app. And start there. In terms of academic connection, also ask if you are already declared with a major, is there a club associated with your major? Are there other students in your classes that you can connect with? Again, that study buddy feature is really helpful. In terms of getting involved, I think the insights that we've had from students here are all really great. And that's a good place to start, is with the common interests that you might share, and through activities and activism that you are really passionate about. It's a way to meet other students. So I think there's always going to be an adjustment period, but there are other people. You're not alone. There are a number of people who are going to be coming to campus. We're going to have new transfer students. We're going to have some students who deferred and have decided that they're ready to join UVM in the spring. So I think there is going to be sort of critical mass of folks who are in the same boat, and it'll create a different feel on campus, but that's a real opportunity for you to dive in and to meet some new people. And I bet you anything within a week you'll have forgotten that you weren't here in the fall.
Thanks, Jay. And you might want to just remind students, when is the at-home return decision due? When do they have to make that decision? And for this student who's asking, if a sophomore decides, gosh, it's really tough to be at home for an entire year. If I'm a sophomore, what if I just take the spring off? And what is that called? It's called a leave of absence. So they want to know, how will that work and how do they do that as well?
So for the spring, if you're interested in taking the at-home option, that form is due before midnight on Friday the 13th. And that is so that we can get you into the system coded as an at-home student, and you'll have access to those special sections for at-home students in the mixed and in-person courses that will be available. So remember, the schedule of courses is coming out on October 26th. You can schedule a meeting with your advisor and start looking at options and seeing whether an at-home schedule will work for you if you want to, or if you want to return to campus. If you decide that you don't want to return to campus, but you also don't want to spend another semester as an at-home student, you can take a leave of absence. Please speak to your dean's office, your student success, or your student advising office, and also please check in with Student Financial Services, because taking a leave of absence can affect when you need to begin paying back your student loan. So it's always good to make sure that you understand all of the consequences before you take the step of a leave of absence. But again, if that's the right choice for you, it is a relatively simple form to fill out.
Thanks so much, Jay. So again, dates for students to remember. Registration starts on the October 26th. You can use your Navigate app to make an appointment with your faculty member, and then you have to make a decision about the at-home option by November 13th. We want you to come back. So if you are ready and able, we welcome you back. And as Jay said, for those who are not first year students, but second year and above, it is a leave of absence and it does have implications for student financial services. So you just want to make sure that you talk with your advisor about that.
Yeah, Patty, can I just, I think you misspoke. The schedule of courses comes out on October 26th.
Right.
But the registration actually starts on November 16th.
Oh, November 16th. That's right. Sorry.
So I don't want anyone to panic. No, you have plenty of time before you have to register, plenty of time to meet with your advisor. Yeah.
Thank you. So you have a couple of weeks to look at the schedule and see what courses are offered, right, Jay? And then you make your decision by November 13th because you will have had 2 good weeks to be able to look, and then you can start registering after November 16th.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's why I have Jay backing me up to make sure I don't say things that are not right. Okay, Sarah, do you have any suggestions for students in terms of what you're doing in your office to reach out and communicate with them, and how they might use Navigate to make sure that they're connecting to their their advisors, their faculty, etc.?
Yeah, absolutely, Patty. I just wanted to say Cal and Maddie did a great job talking through that Study Buddies feature in particular, which can be really helpful. I know students are in the middle of midterms, maybe finishing up midterms, and certainly as we look to exams in November and into December, Study Buddies is a good way, in addition to the Tutoring Center and other campus resources, to connect and find peers in your classes that you can study with. The other thing I'll say about Navigate is a lot of the academic units are using Navigate now to promote events, some specifically for at-home students. Grossman School of Business, for example, is hosting several social hours, and they're pulling students together that way. They're talking about careers, and that information is being pushed out through Navigate. So great, again, for students to download it, be connected to their academic unit, as been talked about. More and more advisors are using Navigate for scheduling appointments. It's easy to find them. You go right to your college or school, go right to the reason that you want to meet with an advisor, and then select a time to be able to meet with them. We are hosting a couple of other events for at-home students later into November. One will be about radical self-care. Another one will be about academic success. So just wanted to put those out there too as additional opportunities to connect. Hopefully that gets at what you were looking for, Patty.
Yeah, thanks so much, Sarah.
Sure.
Alex, is there anything you would like to add from your perspective working with students? And I know you provide lots of opportunities to connect with students both at home and on campus, and advice you have as you've worked with so many of our students.
Yeah, Patty, I think the key is for people to really just use Navigate a lot. I'm sorry, not Navigate, to use Near Peer as a way to connect. I think one of the hardest parts about the college experience is that there's not that informal opportunities to meet, and we're hoping Near Peer allows you to do that kind of informal run-in on just meeting people. I gotta admit, you know, my saddest thing is that, and I'll share a funny story, is that one of my closest friends that I met in college was the fact that I took off my shoes and he smelled feet, and that's how I became friends with my one of my closer friends from college, and that's the stuff that y'all don't have. So what we're hoping, and please download Near Peer, put as many of the interests. I'm hoping that, like, you know, we can have chats about Avatar, and what we'll do is for those folks who like do download Near Peer and list out all the interests that they have, our group will also try to form groups so that people can kind of like so our people can kind of start creating groups that might give you those informal connections that we're trying to create. And we appreciate, I'm going to just say this again, we really appreciate what you're all doing, and we know it's hard, but we also appreciate your empathy for us trying and trying to figure out this hard task during these difficult times. So thank you, Patty.
Thanks so much, Alex. And Sarah, I'm going to put you on the spot again because I know we're throwing out a lot of things to students, and I don't know if some students join later, but one student is asking, okay, tell me exactly what this app is, Navigate. And although we heard Maddie and Cal talk about it and Cal showed it, maybe you can, since you're our guru on Navigate, you can just help students understand what it really is.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Sure. Navigate, we say, sort of holds much of the information that you need related to your academic journey and your time and pathway through UVM. So you can view your course schedule, which is one of the main things as you're downloading a new schedule or getting a new schedule of courses for the spring. It's visible in the app, so you can go there to see that. There's been a lot of talk on the call about connecting with advisors and peer tutors. There's a scheduling component of the app, which is really helpful. So that's another piece of why it's useful. We also put a lot of information there. To-dos, Cal referenced the FAFSA, and it's time to file your FAFSA already for next academic year. So we put to-dos and information there in front of you that are helpful to help you along your path and your time here at UVM. In addition to that, we post events. We want you to be connected and know about what's going on across campus. So we put information about events happening from the clubs and orgs that some of the students talked about, as well as from academic units, speakers across campus, those sorts of things. Study Buddies is another feature. There's a great piece also where you can explore majors. If you're coming in undecided and you're thinking about what you want to do long-term as a career, or even in the short term, you can explore some careers. So it holds a lot. The app has a lot to it. It's definitely worth exploring, downloading and getting into, and finding different paths within it that are of interest to you. But I think it's informative in a lot of different ways about what's happening across campus and in our UVM community.
Thank you, Sarah. And I'm going to ask Cal to come back online and show himself. If you just want to say the 3 steps it takes to download Navigate, they go to the App Store, they download it, and how you did it, just as a reminder, so students know what you're talking about. So Cal, you want to just go over those steps again?
So yeah, with Navigate, the 3 steps, you want to go to the App Store and look up Navigate Student. And it's the first one that comes up. It has a blue logo, and a lot of people have downloaded it. So you'll download the app right there, and then once you're in the app, you log in with your UVM Net ID, and you answer some questions about your class and your interests and everything. Oh, and you select that you go to the University of Vermont before you log in with your Net ID, and then you fill out your interests, and then you should be right there on the home screen.
Thank you so much, Cal. Okay, the next question is a good one. Is there a place to find a list of the at-home students to reach out to? And how can, I'm assuming this is, how can we allow students to connect to one another? Jay or Sarah, do either one of you want to take this, or your recommendation to support students to connect with others? And I guess we would have to make sure students were okay with letting us share their information, but how might we do this? Oh, and Alex knows too. He's raising his hand. Okay, Alex, I'll let you start.
So this is where, like I said, that near peer tool is helpful, because you can actually list whether you're taking classes on campus or you're taking classes online or you're at home. And that's a way that, you know, you might be able to link in and look for all students who are not on campus that are kind of at home, who can kind of like connect with you. You can send a message through Near Peer. Once again, Near Peer is different from like Facebook and these other tools, because it's like an informal like phone book. If you ever had a phone book, it's finding people that like might live down your street that you may randomly look for. But that's the point of Near Peer, is that to find people that are similar interests, whether it's academics, interest, or same way of taking classes, that you can kind of connect and then move on to another mean of communication.
Thank you so much, Alex. And I know you have seen some positive things happen when students at home are connecting via near peer. Jay or Sarah, did you want to add anything to that?
I think the other way to do this is to, if there are other at-home students in any of your classes, to use that connection that you have through sharing that course, to get together to talk about that content, to share some common interests. That would be another way to meet those. Right now, we don't necessarily, outside of near peer, have a way for to get a list of those students. But I think if you put yourself out there as someone who's interested in meeting other at-home students, it's a great way to actually communicate that you're at home and that you're interested in meeting other at-home students, and you can take that first step, and other people will come and connect with you.
Okay, and I understand Jonah is suggesting that class Facebook pages are also a good way to do this. And I don't know, Lana and Peter, would SGA be willing to sponsor some host a meeting? Lana, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. We are looking at more and more opportunities and events for students to be connected with. So that's something that our committees are focusing on in general. So we'd love to get another idea in there.
Excellent. That's what's so nice about having our student leaders here, because they come up with some great ideas. I love also that we have someone who said that they're so glad that we shared the near peer, because that might be a good way for them to connect with someone they might want to room with when they come on campus. So that's great. Any other questions? We're almost at the end, and I don't think there are any new questions. So I thought I would just take a minute to maybe wrap up, and then I'll ask Alex to give a last few words, and then I will end our evening. So for those of you who downloaded the apps tonight, we will be in touch. So be watching for your UVM email, and that's how we'll communicate with you about the lunch with myself and President Garamella. And before I end the evening, Alex, would you like to give any last few words on near peer and why you think it's such a great idea for our students?
Once again, Patty, it's a tool like that we can use to try to do the informal. I know that sometimes programming there's a lot of programs that we're seeing, and what I'm hoping that you might do is use near peer to go to the programs together on a virtual setting so that you can make the friends. And I gotta admit, just try it out, even if it, you might not toot your horn or anything. Just try it out and give yourself a chance, because you never know. That might be the lifelong friend that you have that's going to be there for you, watching sports, watching New England Patriots games, or eating ramen, spicy ramen contests, maybe even have a Hallmark buddy to watch with. Like, these are the things that allow you to kind of do that informal connection. And we will try to help out with the connections, but it really comes down to is that near peer is hoping to do that informal connection that we hope that we just can't do because we're not in the physical space. So thank you so much for just trying it out. And I think this is part of life, and know that, maybe one day, 20 years down the road, that you'll be a provost talking about your day at school, talking about how you met your best friend at college, and it'll be much better than my smelly feet story. So thank you, Patty, and I'm going to turn it back to you.
Thank you, Alex. I love it. As a first generation student, I was scared to death about going to college, and they didn't have all of these kinds of connections and supports. So I'm highly sensitive to what students are going through and trying to navigate things, especially when you are removed from the situation. So just a couple of reminders. Schedule of courses will be ready, and I've got this right now, Jay. On October 26th, you make a decision about whether or not you want to stay at home another semester by November 13th. We would love to have you back. And you start registering November 16th. So you have lots of time to look at the schedule of courses and see if it meets your needs. Navigate is a great academic tool to really connect you with for studying, your advisors, making appointments, etc. And Near Peer is a wonderful social connection tool where you can meet other at-home students. We have an amazing Student Government Association with Lana and Peter leading us, and Anne with clubs and organizations. You can already see the amazing students who are working through this. So this is new to all of us. It's hard for everyone. I hope you will continue to reach out academically and socially. We're going to continue to focus our outreach on our at-home students. You are precious to us. And I know Student Affairs has some things in the works as well. So I think until we can be together again, be well, stay safe, have a wonderful holiday in November and December. And if we don't see you physically on campus in February, we hope to see you through Near Peer or Navigate or on a Teams Live. So thank you to my panel and all the students who were wonderful, and have a great evening.